Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, live from View Rooftop at the Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Iowa City. This is Hawk Talk, brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Your local Ford dealers, Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and Iowa Corn Promotion Board. You may think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa football. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Also brought to you by Mid-American Energy. Look up, look out for overhead power lines. Visit MidAmericanEnergy.com for electrical safety tips. By University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Cellular, built for the Hawkeyes, built for silencing notifications and turning up the noise. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Iowa Farm Bureau, who would like to remind you to support America's farmers. Check out AmericaNeedsFarmers.org. And by Authentic Brand, the label you wear makes a difference. Step up your game day looks and everyday style with Authentic Brand. Here is your host, the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Happy Thanksgiving, Hawkeye fans everywhere, locally and around the Middle West and around the country. And welcome into our final weekly show, Hawk Talk with Coach Kirk Ferentz from View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City, on top of the Hilton Garden Inn. Iowa football, certainly, like all of us, has much to be thankful for, including their second Big Ten West Division championship in 3 years. And will face the winner. Yeah, give those Hawks a hand. Thank you. The Hawks will face the winner of the Ohio State-Michigan game Saturday, December 2nd at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Indy will be alive indeed. The Hawkeyes clinched the crown Saturday with a 15-13 slugfest victory over Illinois out at Kinnick Stadium. The Hawks have now won 17 of their last 18 November games. Amazing, dating back to 2019. And next up, the regular season ender with the Nebraska Cornhuskers on Black Friday at 11 o'clock this Friday morning. The Heroes game, where these border states honor their citizen superstars selected by a panel. And Iowa's for this year is Eric Kumm, K-U-M-M. Eric Kumm, a vocational ag teacher and FFA advisor in the South O'Brien School District out in Paulina. He's stoking rural kids' passion for agriculture. Those youngsters have gone on to become veterinarians, agronomists, ag teachers, welders, and, of course, farmers. Thank you, Eric, for all your great work. He's been out there for many, many years. We'll have Eric on the air from Lincoln and Memorial Stadium on Friday morning and afternoon. Josh Hicks. Josh Hicks is Lincoln's Nebraska hero. Josh is an HVAC salesman. He's from right there in Lincoln. He's a technician, accustomed to heavy lifts, and talk about being in the right place at the right time. He played a pivotal role in rescuing and pulling a man from a van that had tumbled off a highway into a lake near Wichita, Kansas, this past July. So we've got two tremendous young guys we're going to honor out there at the Iowa-Nebraska game on Friday. It's a wonderful support mechanism that Pioneer provides. We call it the Pioneer Heroes Game. And since we brought it up, let's tell you about Pioneer. They're proud to partner with the Hawks and the Huskers for the Pioneer Heroes Game. Every community has their heroes, and Pioneer Brand Seeds is proud to honor those who stand as an inspiration to others throughout both states in this Pioneer Heroes game. Congratulations to both Eric Kumm from the South O'Brien School District and Josh Hicks from Lincoln, Nebraska as our honorees, and we'll have them out on the field. Typically, the governors of both states are there. I don't know if they'll be there on Friday, but we hope so at halftime. So it's going to be a glorious day in and around the football game. The Hawkeyes and the Huskers, this should be a typical knockdown, drag-out. Should be another low-scoring affair. Both offenses have struggled off and on, although Iowa's has certainly improved, as you've watched young quarterback Deacon Hill grow up before our very eyes here in the past few weeks. The Hawkeyes are 9-2 and 6-2. They clinched the Big Ten West after that come-from-behind win over Illinois last weekend. Nebraska 5-6. 3-5 in the Big Ten. Now, they've got plenty of motivation. It's their senior day. You know what the atmosphere was like at Kinnick Stadium last Saturday for our 20 Hawkeye seniors. It's their senior day now, and they need one victory to become bowl eligible. The Huskers went into Madison last Saturday night, played the Badgers right off their toes, but lost 24-17 in overtime as Braylon Allen, that gigantic back for the Badgers, punched it in overtime, and Wisconsin held on for a 24-17 victory to force a must-need win for Nebraska to earn bowl eligibility. There is a possibility even at 5-7, and we hope that's what they are at the end of the day, that a 5-7 team can be bowl bound as well. Nebraska leads the all-time series, 30 victories to 23, but the Hawkeyes have won 8 of the 12 games played between these two since Nebraska entered the Big Ten. And Nebraska is also looking to snap a 23-game losing streak to ranked opponents with a victory. That's hard to believe that Nebraska has lost 23 consecutive games to a ranked opponent. The Hawkeyes are ranked number 20. They dropped a couple notches this week, but Kirk Ferentz could care less about the rankings, like he could care less about a lot of things where the media is concerned. That said, we'll give them that freedom and tell you that we're proud to be at once again View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City. We've had another terrific year with great crowds, and thank you all for coming out. It's Thanksgiving Eve. A lot of people are traveling on the road, and hopefully you're tuned in to Hawk Talk. We've had great crowds each and every Wednesday night here, and if you're in the neighborhood tonight, we're here until 8 o'clock, so come on out and join us. Every Wednesday night for Hawk Talk, immerse yourself in an invigorating environment with comfortable contemporary indoor and outdoor seating. HD TVs for watching the Hawks or any other game for that matter. Tailgate specials on football Saturdays, and in this case it'll be football Friday this Friday. Live music. You can enjoy the camaraderie and celebrate with a toast at View Rooftop at the Hilton Garden Inn here in downtown Iowa City as the Hawkeyes take on the Huskers Friday morning starting at 11. Our pregame coverage starts at 9. Hawks haven't had too many 11 o'clock kicks this year. Therefore, Podolak and I have not had to get up real early But guess what? That's going to change on Saturday morning or Friday morning. We'll catch that first bus out of the hotel around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and get ready for the Hawks and the Huskers. In the meantime, all you have to do is pick up the phone if you're not making the trip out to Lincoln, and call the View Rooftop for reservations at 319-519-4650. 319-519-4650. I guess I should have asked Sam if View will be here at that hour, 9 o'clock. We'll straighten that out. What's going on, Sam? 10 o'clock. So the doors are open at 10? All right. So you heard it here first. As you should. View Rooftop will open up at 10 o'clock on Friday morning and await your arrival for the Hawkeyes and the Huskers. Since I mentioned Sam, I want to thank the entire staff here at View Rooftop. They have been spectacular all season long. The chow is outstanding, second to none. The drinks are icy cold, or if you'd like, hot chocolate or coffee and something in it, maybe Kahlua, or a Bud Light. Whatever your choice is, they can take care of you. But thanks to Sam, Christina, and Alexis, our restaurant managers here. Emma is the host. Our servers have been Josh and Katie and Beyonce. And don't forget the bartenders, Dolph. Absolutely not. Cade and Mia. How about a hand for all of our wait staff here at View Rooftop, huh? Can't go wrong with a bartender named Cade, right? He's the quarterback behind the bar, but we do appreciate all the great service and cooperation. I mean, it's really a technical madhouse here because we have our friends at KCRG Channel 9.2 who have been here all year as well, and they have televised our show with Kirk and yours truly throughout eastern Iowa, east central Iowa. So I guess it's a good time to thank the director, Erin, and her staff, Jeff and Deke and Mike, KCRG 9.2. How about a hand? How about a round of applause for KCRG 9.2? Thanks, Erin. Thanks to Erin and her wonderful staff at Channel 9.2. All right. Kirk will be here in about 35 minutes. They're having their annual team Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving dinner tonight at the Hanson Performance Center across the way on campus. The team will get into Lincoln around 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The flight heads out from Cedar Rapids. They'll get out there and get bunkered in at the hotel, and then the traveling party will have a nice Thanksgiving meal since they're sequestered and away from their families. They'd love to be home, but of course there's business to be taken care of and victories to earn. So that's the setup prior to the game. Again, the game is at 11 o'clock Friday morning, and our pregame coverage starts at 9 here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Now, if you'd like to reach us one final time here on Twitter or on Facebook, because we've got some authentic brand merchandise to give away once again. Here are the handles on Twitter. Send us your question or your comment to on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. Again, Twitter handle is at Gary Dolphin. Very simple. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. And we've got some great comments and questions, especially in lieu of the big win over Illinois this past weekend. As for the players, they're rocking and rolling and ready to go. One of those young guys who had a great game, particularly in lieu of Cooper DeJean missing his first game, is Jamari Harris was flipped over to his position, and Deshaun Lee was playing the other side. And Jamari Harris did a phenomenal job of knocking down passes, of covering outstanding wide receivers like Isaiah Williams. Because this quarterback, Johnny Paddock, is the real deal. Now, Jamari has to prepare for a three-headed monster coming up this weekend. Nebraska has a trio of quarterbacks that could play, but the young man that will get the call, at least the start, is Chubby Purdy. If that last name sounds familiar, I'll talk about that in a minute. But here's Jamari Harris on preparing for multiple Nebraska quarterbacks.
Just watching tape on all three of them, get familiar with all three of them. They do similar things with all three of them, but it's a little different with each one, so make sure we get on the tape and kind of key in on minor details that help us win that ball game.
Chubby Purdy. That's right. Chubba, not Chubby. I beg your pardon. Chubba, you're not Chubby. Chubba. I can't wait to get over there and hear the story from Greg Sharp, the voice of the Huskers, on that name, Chubba. Chubba Purdy is the younger brother of Brock Purdy, who was the quarterback at Iowa State for several years when he was battling the Hawkeyes. And if you don't know, he's now a pretty good quarterback in the National Football League. He was Mr. Irrelevant, the last draft pick of the NFL draft a couple years ago. And Brock, had he not gotten hurt, who knows what might have happened last year in the playoffs, but he has had a phenomenal short couple years with the San Francisco 49ers and is having a tremendous season again in the city by the bay. So his younger brother, Chubba Purdy, ran for over 100 yards, ran for a touchdown, and threw a 55-plus yard touchdown pass right out of the gate up in Camp Randall last Saturday night. Had the Huskers on top 14-0 before the Badgers battled back. I'm anxious to get Kirk's take on Chubba Purdy. He's equally a runner as he is a thrower. He's probably a better running quarterback, but we'll get the head coach's insight as to Chubba Purdy's skill set. They've had a lot of injuries at quarterback, frankly, for Nebraska, not unlike the Hawkeyes this year. So it is, to me, in watching Nebraska play the few games or the little tape that I've seen them, and knowing what Iowa does, to me, this game is no different than past games. I think it comes down to a turnover, and I think special teams is going to be huge. I don't think that's going out on a short or thin limb with Torrey Taylor, the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week, by the way, our phenomenal punter here at the University of Iowa. Torrey Taylor will be a key factor again in Iowa's say-so on Friday. But this game has turned more often than not on special teams and on a turnover on special teams. But either way, you got two outstanding defenses. We know about the Hawkeye defense. I was putting some numbers together today, and not a whole lot has changed. The Iowa defense has given up, first off, it ranks third nationally, allowing 12 points a game. That's the stat Kirk Ferentz cares about the most. How many points do you give up? But the Hawkeyes have allowed two total touchdowns over their last 20 quarters. That's a few games. And 4 touchdowns over the past 28 periods. And they've given up just 12 total touchdowns in 2023. Iowa has been running the ball better. They're averaging over 4 yards a carry. But hold the phone. Nebraska is the best in the Big Ten in run defense. They're giving up 2.8 yards per rush. 2.8. That is off the charts. And they're also the best running team in the Big Ten. They're averaging 186 rushing yards with multiple I-backs, as they used to call them in Lincoln, or tailbacks. And so the Iowa run defense, which is outstanding, has got its work cut out for it again. But you know what? Phil Parker's been challenged every week with different kinds of offenses that can move the ball, and this week will be no different. So there's a lot of key factors, a lot of key segments in this game where they're colliding, they're knocking helmets right out of the gate. Should be a great football game. Great atmosphere, Memorial Stadium, it always is. They seat in the neighborhood of 90,000, but the Hawkeyes are going in really with no pressure. In my view, Deacon Hill's gotten better. In fact, Deacon talked about his last few weeks settling in at the quarterback position. I mean, it's been amazing, his improvement since that last drive at Wrigley Field against Northwestern. He was getting better prior to that. He had thrown a touchdown pass to tight end Addison Estringa. But he feels that his improved play and the Iowa program, the Iowa culture, go hand to glove.
I think it's just what you didn't know what to expect when we came in here in January. But, just seeing what kind of family this is and, how close everybody is. Not a lot of teams, the defense and offense are super close. But here, it's there's not even offense and defense. Everybody's really close friends. And then the coaches, just make sure everybody stays together. And I think that's one big thing with it as an offense this year is sticking together. I think the coaches have done a great job with that. And yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is just being a part of a family like this, especially being away from home and all that stuff. You want to find a family, and I think we found that here.
Yeah, the California kid from Santa Barbara, he's found a new home and a new family in Iowa City. The proof's in the pudding. Deacon's first couple games, 2 or 3 games, he was completing 36% of his passes. 36. The last few games, 63% of his passes have been completed. So he indeed is settling in. His accuracy has gotten much better. And it's had a lot to do with Caleb Brown, according to the quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's just whenever the ball touches his hands, he makes a play. He's a hard runner. He played running back in high school, so he knows how to run the ball. He's got great hands, great routes. And so when you put the ball in his hands, he's going to fight for those extra yards. And so I think that's just a benefit to have.
Caleb Brown, they've run him off jet sweeps. He's got glue hands. He has caught 11 catches for 121 yards, a touchdown with a long of 31, and that was last week against Illinois, which was critical in just one Iowa drive. So we're seeing this Iowa passing game grow up right before our eyes. Caden Weegan, he jumped in there for Cooper DeJean, had that great punt return late in the game, ended up near midfield that led to some Iowa points. But Nico Reganey, Caleb Brown, I think Nico, if memory serves me correct, had 5 catches. The other night, Brown had 7 catches for 71 yards, targeted 10 times. So Iowa just not just a running team here, at least of late, and hopefully that balance continues to evolve behind quarterback Deacon Hill. Okay, we're late for our first break. What else is new, huh? We need to talk about our wonderful sponsors here on Hawk Talk. Of course, we're at the View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City, and you're invited out yet tonight. We'll be here until 8 o'clock. When Coach Ferentz gets here, we'll bring you his club car wash keys to the game. You might win some authentic brand merchandise if we pick your tweet or Facebook post in terms of a question or a comment for the coach. We're also brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. It's the Pioneer Heroes game, Iowa-Nebraska, coming up Friday. And back to View Rooftop to talk more about that game as the Hawks look to close the season on a high note. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz from Learfield.
Right now, new and current customers can get any phone for free at U.S. Cellular. So you can connect with all your family members this holiday season, like your snowbird grandparents, your adorable nieces, or your favorite uncle. Just think, with any phone free from U.S. Cellular, you could even call your aunt who always makes you talk to your cousin, who's a dog. Or, maybe just send her a festive text. Everyone can get the gift of connection at U.S. Cellular. Get any phone free today. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
I'm Ingrid Lizarraga, breast surgeon at the University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center, the state's only NCI-designated cancer center. Here, we look beyond just the type of cancer you have to discover the molecular details of the disease. We have teams dedicated to each cancer type, with treatments and trials you won't find anywhere else in Iowa. Go to uihc.org/cancer.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. While farmers work hard to grow the best crop, their Iowa corn checkoff investments are hard at work too. Opening local and global markets for corn and corn-fed products, educating drivers on unleaded 88 as the best fuel at the pump, finding new uses for corn, and sharing the farmer's story. Iowa corn farmers are backed by researchers, educators, market experts, and more. To keep corn growing Iowa.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Let's be honest, we all like to be noticed. Picture yourself striding into Kinnick Stadium, radiating both style and comfort, while fellow Hawkeye fans can't help but ask, where'd you get that shirt? With pride, you point to the big screen and reply, it's Authentic Brand. Discover the remarkable difference that apparel with the Authentic Brand label brings. Ask for it by name at your favorite boutique, spirit shop, or retailer, or shop online at authentic-brand.com. It's time for a change in your style. It's time for Authentic Brand.
Hawk Talk live from View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City at the Hilton Garden Inn. Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz. I'm Gary Dolphin. We're here until 8 o'clock tonight. Thanks to the folks at the View for hosting us each and every week. We're sponsored by Quickstar. Hawk fans, you can drive your team to a win this season by filling up with unleaded 88 and quick rewards at any Quickstar location. Fuel up with 8 gallons or more of unleaded 88, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win great prize packs throughout the season. Quickstar, a proud partner of Hawkeye football. Thank you, Quickstar. One of the highlights of my career occurred in Lincoln, 8 years ago? Man, oh man, how time flies. It was the capping of the undefeated regular season in 2015 at Memorial Stadium when the Hawkeyes and Jordan Kanziri, remember that name? He sealed the deal with this roughly 75-yard touchdown run as the game was reaching toward its finale.
3 wide receivers. Kanziri is the tailback. And Jordan gets through the hole on the left side. Turns the corner. Look out. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Put it in the bank. That's a touchdown, Iowa. Jordan Kanziri. A lightning strike twice by number 33.
Same exact play.
78 yards. Kanziri. And the Hawkeyes have the double-digit lead back.
And they would go on to win that game 28-20, completing that undefeated season. Incredible feat for Coach Ferentz and the Hawkeyes. 28-20. Jordan Kanziri with 2 long touchdown runs off tackle. Simple off-tackle run, wonderfully blocked by the Iowa offensive line. And the Hawks hold on for a 28-20 win. It was raining, then it was misting, then it was sleeting, then it was snowing. We had a little bit of everything that particular day as the afternoon game reached into the darkness at Memorial Stadium, and the Hawks win it 28-20. Game time a little earlier this year, 11 o'clock on Friday morning, 9 o'clock for the pregame coverage here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Some more facts and figures about this game. Of course, the head coach, Matt Rule, is in his first year at Nebraska. Matt did a phenomenal job building the Baylor program into a national power a few years back, and then left for the NFL, Carolina. That did not work out for him. He came back to college football this past year and was hired to revitalize the Nebraska program after Scott Frost left town. And Matt is highly respected around the country. He's in his 8th season as a college coach, 11th season overall. He led the program at Temple, brought them to new heights, prominent heights nationally from 2013 to 2016, and then was at Baylor from 2017 through 2019, and coached the Carolina Panthers for the better part of 2 years. His college head coach, he's 52-49. And including his time in the NFL, Matt Rule is 63 wins, 76 defeats as a head coach. He's a program builder, much in the vein of Coach Ferentz. Kirk's win over Illinois on Saturday was the 195th of his career, moving him past Michigan's Bo Schembechler for 3rd place. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Bo Schembechler is in now 4th place as Ferentz moved past him by an institution, a member of the Big Ten. Ferentz trails only Woody Hayes. Woody Hayes has 205 wins, and Amos Alonzo Stagg is next in Kirk's gun sights with 199. So he's 4 behind Alonzo, and 10 behind Woody. Well, he could get that next year, certainly in the next couple of years. The Hawkeyes with a big win over Illinois on Saturday. And again, all three phases were involved, special teams, certainly defense and offense, as young quarterback Deacon Hill continues to improve. Deshaun Lee, we talked about Jamari Harris a little bit ago. Deshaun Lee really was effective at the other cornerback position. Remember, he started for Jamari Harris a couple games earlier in the year when Jamari was suspended, and did a terrific job at that other corner spot with Cooper DeJean. And so he'll be counted on again Saturday to nail down that other cornerback position. Of course, the safeties, how do you get any better than Quinn Schulte and Xavier Wampa, and of course the cashback Sebastian Castro. Wampa, number one out of the Southeast Polk in the Des Moines area, said there's still a lot to play for.
We're playing for our 10th win. Really just focus on finishing the season strong and just build momentum to this postseason. Really, it's just an opportunity to play another game. You get a guaranteed 12 games in a season, so we're really focused on going to win that game and really just play together, have fun, and finish the regular season.
Well, Xavier is going to be looking at perhaps multiple quarterbacks. Nebraska has started 3 quarterbacks this season, including Heinrich Harburg. He's got 8 starts, but he's been battling injuries. Jeff Sims, who was pegged to be the starter heading into the year, got 2 starts in, 2 games in before he hurt an ankle, and that's been a nagging injury. And now Chubba Purdy marks the first time since 2013 that Nebraska has had 3 different quarterbacks start a game. And Coach Rule announced earlier in the week, yesterday as a matter, or Monday, I guess it was, that Chubba Purdy would be his starting quarterback. We'll talk more about Chubba when we come back from our next break. First off, though, we're at the top of the hour, time for a 10-second station identification. Station ID break here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz from View Rooftop. The Hawkeyes and the Huskers get after each other on Friday morning at 11 o'clock in the annual Heroes game from Lincoln. Back to talk more Hawkeye football and take some of your tweets and Facebook posts right after this. This is Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz from Learfield.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
Whether you're building a backyard fence for your family's new best friend or firing up the excavator for your next commercial project, a free and simple call can save you from expensive fines and even save your life. Call 811 at least 2 days before you start your next project to have underground utility lines located and marked. At Mid-American Energy, your safety is our #1 priority. So, make it your priority to call 811 before you dig. Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Hey, it's your friend, social media. You know, where I showcase the cool life of sports stars and friends. But don't fall for the editing and good lighting, because we all have struggles and challenges, like with alcohol or drug use, gambling, or our mental health. Talking about it is a sign of strength. Maybe you don't know who to talk to. Your Life Iowa can give you resources or treatment options. Get free 24/7 confidential support. Call, text, or chat online at yourlifeiowa.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Hello, Hawkeye fans. This is Bruce Gerlman, and I own Jethro's Barbecue. Have you heard the news? It's really big news. Jethro's Barbecue is now open in Coralville. That's right, across from the Hawkeye softball diamonds on the Coralville Strip. Jethro's is your game day headquarters. Call ahead and order your tailgate barbecue from Jethro's. Before the game, during the game, after the game, stop in Jethro's and eat my amazing slow-smoked wings and my world-famous baby back ribs.
Hawk Talk live from View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City at the Hilton Garden Inn. Welcome back to the Kirk Ferentz Show. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you have a blessed day tomorrow and with family and friends and your loved ones. We're at View Rooftop till 8 o'clock tonight. Coach will be joining us in a minute. We're sponsored by Wellmark, Blue Cross, and Blue Shield. They're here for it all as your healthcare champion, making healthcare more affordable with more choices for care and peace of mind, no matter what comes your way. Find the plan right for you at wellmark.com/touchdown. Wellmark.com/touchdown. Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. The Hawks have won 5 straight at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, including 2 years ago when they clinched their last Big Ten West Division title. Smothers back to pass. Good protection. Throws it to the end zone. It's intercepted. It's intercepted by Jamari Harris. How appropriate. The rookie in the bunch. Well, he was a rookie then. He's not a rookie now. He's a seasoned veteran, and he's still on the field. He'll be out there on Friday morning, and he'll be hoping to pick off. He is hoping to pick off. Hopefully he will pick off Chubba Purdy, the younger brother of Brock Purdy, the former Iowa State Cyclone, now the star quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. Chubba's, they're similar in size. Chubba's 6'2", 210 pounds. Sophomore eligibility-wise, he spent his first 2 years at Florida State, played in 4 games with 1 start. He started at Wisconsin last Saturday night due to injuries to the other 2 quarterbacks mentioned, and accounted for a career-high 274 yards of total offense. That's the highest total by a Husker this season. Chubba completed 15 of 23 passes for 169 yards and a touchdown, tying his career high in completions and attempts. Equally impressive, he ran for a career-high 105 yards on 14 carries, including that career-long 55-yard touchdown. He can scat. He's got good speed, and the Hawkeye defense will be severely tested. But no doubt Phil Parker's put in a terrific game plan for Chubba and that Nebraska offense, which they've had a lot of success against the Huskers down through the years. But they are leading the Big Ten with 186 yards rushing per game. And, of course, Chubba Purdy has had a lot to do with that. Coming into this game, Chubba is 16 for 28, 193 yards, 57% completion ratio. 1 touchdown pass. He's been picked off twice. And he's run 17 times for 138 yards. That's an 8-yard average. And also has a touchdown run of 55, that against Wisconsin last week. Now, their running game has changed with Anthony Grant's injury. Now, Anthony's still in the 2 deeps, the senior from Buford, Georgia, who transferred in a couple years ago from Florida State. But he's been limited. He's run for 400 yards, a 4-yard average. Emmett Johnson, a redshirt freshman from Minneapolis, has been getting a lot of carries. He's their primary back now, a redshirt freshman who is spelling the injured Grant. 79 carries, a 5-yard average, 2 touchdowns with a long of 21. The best of the bunch at wideout, there's a number of them. Alex Bullock has got 13 catches, a 14-yard average. The tight ends include Council Bluffs Lewis Central former high school superstar Thomas Fedoni. Thomas has had a terrific year. 23 catches, 250 yards, 4 touchdowns. He leads Nebraska in touchdown catches. So their outstanding tight end. Iowa native Thomas Fedoni will be certainly drawing the attention of the Hawkeye linebackers on Friday morning. They come with Nate Borkacher and Luke Lindenmeyer. So they have a variety of tight ends, just like the Hawkeyes do. Up front, they've got a huge offensive line. They always do at Nebraska. Ben Scott at center has been there for a couple years. Graduate transfer from Arizona State. Teddy Prohaska is at left tackle, and Bryce Benhart is the right tackle. All these guys are well over 300 pounds. Seemingly every offensive line averages well over 300 pounds in this day and age of college football. Their punter is Brian Buschini. He's averaging about 41 yards a kick, and he is not from Australia. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Everybody else seems to be. Brian transferred in from Montana, and their kickoff man, their field goal man, is Tristan Alvano. As I mentioned earlier, Torrey Taylor is the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week for obvious reasons. He averaged close to 50 yards a punt last Saturday against Illinois on a half a dozen or so. A couple of those ended up inside the 20, and Torrey was really critical again with his leg in terms of giving that defense field position. Illinois' first possession resulted in a safety thanks to that great front that Iowa has, led by defensive end Joe Evans. He got in there and got his five and a half sack, knocked the ball loose from quarterback Paddock. And a good look at that there on KCRG at Channel 9.2. The Hawks almost got on the football. Illinois recovered, but it was a 2-point safety. What a move by Joe Evans on the left tackle of the Illini, who happened to recover the fumble, and that was just a small sample size of what Joe Evans meant to the game. He started the game forcing a fumble, resulted in a safety. He effectively ended the game, knocking down a pass on 4th down and 2 that allowed Iowa to take the ball over on downs and run out the clock. New game, new Friday, coming up, Iowa and Nebraska this Friday in the Heroes game. Well, throughout the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series, Iowa Corn is happy to promote honest, hard-working values that are uniquely Iowan. Iowa's corn farmers salute all athletes for their hard work and determination to be the best both on and off the field. Just like top athletes, Iowa's farmers lead the nation in corn and ethanol production. Follow Iowa Corn on Facebook and learn how corn grows Iowa. Pioneer is important to our farmers as well. Pioneer is proud to partner with Iowa and Nebraska for the Pioneer Heroes game coming up Friday. Every community has their heroes, and Pioneer Brand Seeds is proud to honor those who stand as an inspiration to others in the Pioneers Hero Game. Again, congratulations to both Eric Cum from South O'Brien School District up near Paulina and Josh Hicks from Lincoln, Nebraska. They are the honorees in this year's Pioneer Heroes Salute. Back with more on Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz in just a minute. We're at View Rooftop. Stay with us. We'll go to some of your tweets and Facebook posts next. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz from Learfield.
Hi, this is Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. My players know that success is not a given. There will be challenges, but with hard work, there are no limits. For years, Iowa farmers have believed in that too. Farmers are the backbone of this country, and their dedication to bringing us food and energy has never been more important. That's why we're proud to wear the America Needs Farmers logo on our helmets. Join the Hawkeyes and the Iowa Farm Bureau as we celebrate America's farmers. To learn more about ANF and pick up some great ANF merchandise, visit americaneedsfarmers.org.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford Tough Trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Whether you're building a backyard fence for your family's new best friend or firing up the excavator for your next commercial project, a free and simple call can save you from expensive fines and even save your life. Call 811 at least 2 days before you start your next project to have underground utility lines located and marked. At Mid-American Energy, your safety is our #1 priority. So, make it your priority to call 811 before you dig. Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. I'm Aaron Bose, pediatric neurologist with University of Iowa Healthcare. Here, we're working together every day to advance medicine so you can get the best care. With more research, more clinical trials, and more treatment options than anywhere else in the state, the University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey Hawkeyes, this is Coach Kirk Ferentz. We work hard all year long to have the best season possible, just like Iowa's corn farmers do. At the University of Iowa, we celebrate our student athletes as well as our state's corn farmers. For all of us, it's the same. When you put in the hard work and give it your all, great things happen. Want to support Iowa's corn farmers? It's easy. Buy corn-fed meat, dairy, and eggs. Fill your cup with safe drinking water right from the tap and fuel your vehicle with homegrown unleaded 88. Let's go Hawks.
Oh, we're back on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day tomorrow to everybody. Nice crowd here tonight. Everybody else is out traveling, heading over the hills and through the valleys to Grandma's house. Please enjoy safely your Thanksgiving holiday. Plenty of basketball. Of course, the Hawkeye basketball team, men's basketball team, is in San Diego, and they play tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day against the University of Oklahoma. This is a new tournament out in San Diego, a charitable event. Seton Hall and USC, Southern Cal, are in the other bracket. The two winners play on Friday. And, of course, you can hear both games here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. What time is that first game tipped tomorrow? I believe it's an afternoon game. Might be tomorrow night, though. We'll get the times for you and pass those along. There are some Big Ten teams in action tonight. Number 2 Purdue held on and knocked off number 4 Marquette in the All-State Maui Invitational out there. It's good to see them getting back to somewhat to normal out on Maui after that devastating wildfire a couple months back. Purdue over Marquette 78-75. Michigan fell to Memphis, a heck of a game in the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. 71-67, Memphis edged the Wolverines. Nebraska is hosting Duquesne in the Cornhusker Classic. And they lead Duquesne. Actually, Duquesne leads the Huskers and Fred Hoiberg early on 14-11. Later tonight in the Fort Myers tip-off down in Florida, Wisconsin, big victory over Virginia a couple nights back. The Badgers will take on SMU. That's, in fact, they're just tipping off in that game down in Fort Myers. I'm sure the weather is nice on the Gulf Coast. I believe it's pronounced Rady, the Rady Invitational out in San Diego, where the Hawkeyes take on Oklahoma. 2 o'clock tip Iowa time, 1 o'clock for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network with Bobby Hansen. John Swisher will be filling in for me, calling the play-by-play out there. 2 o'clock tip versus the Sooners tomorrow here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And then Friday, Iowa will play either Seton Hall or Southern Cal. That's a 5 o'clock tip-off, so it'll be on shortly after we leave air with our football coverage, the Hawkeyes and Nebraska. So it's a big couple of days. And the women are down in Florida playing in a tournament down there. Corey, check out the first opponent for Caitlin and company and what time they play. Okay, so that brings you right up to date basketball-wise on the Hawkeye Radio Network, courtesy of U.S. Bank, our U.S. Bank scoreboard update. By the way, the Hawkeye wrestlers are at Iowa State on Sunday. Hawkeyes, Iowa, and Iowa State go to the mat in the renewal of that grudge match on Sunday. And I believe, if I was reading that correctly, it will be, no doubt, on our Hawkeye Radio Network with Stephen Grace and the crew. And Mark Ironsides. but it's also the first wrestling duel ever televised nationally by ESPN during the regular season, so that'll be a lot of fun. Coach Ferentz has joined us now, and we'll come back after a break and get to Kirk's Club Car Wash, keys to the game. What's key to a victory over Nebraska coming up Friday at 11 o'clock? That's next on Hawk Talk from View Rooftop, courtesy of Learfield.
Hi, this is Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. My players know that success is not a given. There will be challenges, but with hard work, there are no limits. For years, Iowa farmers have believed in that too. Farmers are the backbone of this country, and their dedication to bringing us food and energy has never been more important. That's why we're proud to wear the America Needs Farmers logo on our helmets. Join the Hawkeyes and the Iowa Farm Bureau as we celebrate America's farmers. To learn more about ANF and pick up some great ANF merchandise, visit americaneedsfarmers.org.
Whether you're building a backyard fence for your family's new best friend or firing up the excavator for your next commercial project, a free and simple call can save you from expensive fines and even save your life. Call 811 at least 2 days before you start your next project to have underground utility lines located and marked. At Mid-American Energy, your safety is our #1 priority. So, make it your priority to call 811 before you dig. Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm Ingrid Lizarraga, breast surgeon at the University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center, the state's only NCI-designated cancer center. Here, we look beyond just the type of cancer you have to discover the molecular details of the disease. We have teams dedicated to each cancer type, with treatments and trials you won't find anywhere else in Iowa. Go to uihc.org/cancer.
Hi, it's your friend, social media. You know where I showcase the cool life of sports stars and friends. But don't fall for the editing and good lighting, because we all have struggles and challenges, like with alcohol or drug use, gambling, or our mental health. You know, talking about it is a sign of strength. Maybe you don't know who to talk to? Your Life Iowa can give you resources or treatment options. Get free 24/7 confidential support. Call, text, or chat online at yourlifeiowa.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
Hey, we're back at Hawk Talk from View Rooftop with the head coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes, Kirk Ferentz, joins us. You can reach Kirk on Twitter at Gary Dolphin or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. First off, happy Thanksgiving to you and Mary and the extended family. It's a special time of the year. We got much to be thankful for.
Really do, and I think most of us will probably celebrate it on Saturday, playing on Friday, certainly. But tonight we had, and I'm sorry a little bit later, I'm making a cameo appearance on the Gary Dolphin show today.
I know, that's okay. That's okay.
But anyway, yeah, just we had a nice meal tonight for the players, and then all the coaches, staff, families. So it was really nicely done, and you know, just it's always nice for everybody just to have a chance to express thanks to each other, and for us to be involved in college football, we feel very, very thankful, and life's pretty good.
Yeah, on top of the Hawks' third West Division title, hard-fought victory over Illinois last Saturday. As you've had a few days to digest that and look at the tape now, what pleased you?
Just everything. I mean, I thought our guys really competed hard. It was what we thought. It's a conference game in November. Weather is always a little bit of a challenge, but it was, a relatively good night that way, and just very, very hard fought by both teams. Proud of the way our team just hung in there and kept throwing punches, and just kept banging away at it. And then obviously we came up with some really big plays. Go back to right to the end of the third quarter when Castro came off and the quarterback tried to bounce it on that sneak, and Sebastian was right there to nail him and caused him to get a field goal instead of a touchdown. That was really big. Points are huge this time of year.
Yeah.
Any time of year, but especially right now. And then, just a lot of good things. Obviously, a nice kick, punt return by Weegan. And then the offense took it and put it in the end zone. And a good stop defensively before that to force the punt, and then a good stop after that, a 4-down stop. And then the offense was able to run the clock out, converted that 3rd and 8, and was able to take a knee. So it's always a good feeling when you're in victory formation, taking a knee. It's a real positive.
How about Joe Evans, coach? Starts the game forcing a fumble, which led to a safety, and effectively ended the game on that 4th and 2 with a knockdown, another pass breakup.
Yeah, it broke down 2 of them there, 3rd and 4th down, and just not our tallest defensive lineman, but got his hands up in a timely fashion, and that's as good as it isn't incomplete. So Joe's been playing great football all season long. He's doing a great job leading. High energy guy, as you know, and just never stops out there on the field. So for him to finish up his last game in Kenneck that way it's one he'll always remember, and I think all of us will.
We should talk about the entire defensive front. It'd be easy to talk about the whole defense, which we have quite a bit tonight, but I was thinking, Y.A. Black has been absolutely, when he's healthy, just a stud in that middle with Aaron Graves. You didn't have Noah Shannon this year, unfortunately, but talk about next man in, Deontay Craig, Evans. I know I'm going to leave somebody out, but there's so many guys, Ethan Herkett, that you've rotated through there. You still rotated 7, 8 guys, and they all performed well.
They really have, and each and every one of them's improved, and that's the fun part about football. So, you lose some good players. Last year, Lucas Van Ness, a 1st rounder who left, and but just a bunch of guys playing really well, doing a lot of good things. Joe being the veteran guy in the group, Logan, same thing, not quite as old as Joe, but 5th and 6th year guys. And then Y.A. has just improved every turn with Noah being out, stepped up big, and Deontay, and then you mentioned Ethan Herkett. He's played an awful lot, playing at a really high level. Aaron Graves has done a really good job in his 2nd year, and Jeremiah Pittman's really taken steps forward too. So it's a good group overall. They got a great work ethic. Max Leone, I left him out, doing a lot of nice things. He's got a really good future, and the guys are just taking a step a week at a time, and that's what you're hoping to see is improvement. I think our whole team's really improved in the last 2 months.
Logan Lee, the elder statesman, the married man on that front. What a year he's had. 46 tackles. 46 tackles with 5 for loss and a couple sacks. He's been the leader of that group, really.
Really has. He's just such a mature guy, and he was that way when we walked in here, a couple of years back. But to your point, the only married guy on the team. And it's just, a guy that shows up every day, works extremely hard, great attitude, and is a strong leader. Everybody has great respect for him. And, Logan's not outspoken, but he'll say what he's got to say. And, when he does, people listen.
Well, let's roll into our Club Car Wash keys to the game for this week, Kirk, presented by the official car wash of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Club Car Wash with unlimited membership starting at just $20 a month. There's no better time to join the club. Visit clubcarwash.com and find a location nearest you. We've been talking a little bit about Chubba Purdy. They're the 3rd of 3 quarterbacks that Coach Rule has been forced to play this year due to injuries. He's I don't know if he's similar in size to Brock, older brother Brock, but he's solid, 210 pounds, sophomore eligibility-wise. Started out at Florida State, ends up in Lincoln, and they're happy for it.
Yeah, he really played a great game last week as his coming-out party, if you will, and just played an excellent football game, and did a nice job throwing the football, a lot of big plays there, but also running, and the one kind of broke contain. Rolled to the right, pulled it down, and took off. And it looked like he's going to get a first down. Next thing you know, he kept going, across the field, and had a long touchdown run. So he couldn't have played much better last week. He really did a great job. Protected the football, did a nice job in the passing game and also the running game. And they'll have designed runs with him. He can do that, run the option. There's a couple other quarterback designed runs, and then also pulling it down if you lose contain. Or if the ends get too high on the rush, he'll pull it down and put pressure on the interior of the defense. So he played outstanding, gave them a chance to win the ball game.
They have a huge offensive line. They always do it at Nebraska. And they've got certainly capable wide receivers. Malachi Coleman is a freshman, but he's gifted, a highly recruited young guy. Bullock, the sophomore, has got 13 catches. And then Thomas Fedoni, who I know you're very familiar with in the recruiting process out of Council Bluffs, Lewis Central. He was a guy that you were hoping to get, but he ends up crossing the border. He's a tremendous talent, so they can spread it around.
Yeah, he is. He's a high school teammate of Logan Jones's, a quality player. We tried to recruit him, to your point, and yeah, they've got players everywhere. I mean, they've got good athletes, and their line is huge. Must be the red, because you think about Wisconsin, you think about these two guys. Those are both teams that have big people up front. And, yeah, very, very capable group, good group of backs. And one back might be a little bit injured right now, Grant. But those three guys, especially the top two, number 21, 23, are both really good backs and always had good skill guys at the receiver position. But I think, as I look at it, the key was the way Purdy played last week. It was very, very impressive and really did a good job. Number 10's the other guy that got injured a little bit, and I guess he's going to be an emergency quarterback. He'd been doing a good job, too, and then Sims just had a hard time with the ball security aspect. So I don't know if we'll see him or not, but Purdy, based on the way he played last week, he'll be in there for the duration. Yeah,
Heinrich Harburg was starting. And he's thrown for 7 touchdowns, been picked off 7 times, but Chubba is the man now. With Anthony Grant hobbled, what about this redshirt freshman they've turned to, Emmett Johnson?
He does a nice job. He's got good vision, quick, tough. So he's not the biggest guy in the world, but runs bigger than he is physically, and thought he's very, very impressive. So they've got a couple good backs, and I'm sure 11's good too, but those two guys are the best guys.
Let's turn to defense, Kirk. Luke Reimer is a guy I remember from, pick a game. He's always around the football, one of their inside linebackers. He's had a really solid career, a kid out of Kansas from at Nebraska. He's got 38 tackles, 7 for loss, and 5 sacks. So he'll try to get in that backfield.
Yeah, first of all, their entire defense is very, very aggressive. The scheme's aggressive. Yeah, it's not unusual to see those linebackers in there, and they play a multitude of the guys up front especially. But, yeah, he's the core of it. He's, I think, their leader just based on what I see. He and Heinrich unfortunately got hurt, so he's going to be out. But, yeah, Reimer's been around for a while. Very, very productive player, very active, run or pass. And, things kind of start. I think you look at him and then those 2 big defensive tackles in the middle, number 0 and number 9. And I guess that's a prestigious thing. But the best guys get single digits. I think the players vote on that. I read that somewhere. But both those guys are just big guys. They're veteran guys. 0 was a really successful high school wrestler. I think he goes about 330, 340. And number 9's just really grown into it. He was a little bit young a couple of years ago, last time we were over there, but he's really matured, and he's playing very, very well, too. So those are the big guys inside, and then they've got a multitude of guys they play on the outside. So, again, very active defense. They do a million things. Maybe not a million, but at least 500,000. So it's on a short week, it was really a tough preparation.
Those 2 big guys up front, Ty Robinson, who's 6'6", 310, and Nash Hutmaker, the former outstanding wrestler from the great state of South Dakota. They're both well over 6'4", 6'5", and about 310 to 325 pounds. So they're quick with their hand on the ground. They get off the ball real quick. So that's the Nebraska defense. Coach, back to the Hawkeyes. Torrey Taylor, special teams player of the week. It's his 3rd honor this year, his 6th overall. That leg, you would think it'd be a little bit weary, but he just keeps coming back for more.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Torrey, and he's won it 3 times, to your point. Probably could have been 6. But other guys are playing good too. I get that, but my point there is what a year he's had, and I think the thing that I would point to is funny. LeVar and I were just talking a little while ago in the locker room. The difference between when he got here till now. He's just so different. Extremely mature in his work ethic, his practice skills. And, he used to punt the ball and punt it very well, but now he really is like an artist. He's got a lot of, shots in his bag, if you will, and just has worked at it. And that's hard work. That's year-round. Just really studying it, working on it, trying this, trying that, and finding what works for him. So the growth that we've seen with him, and that's the key in football, it's key in anything you're doing, I think, is how committed are you, how hard will you work at it, and what kind of growth and improvement can you make. And Torrey's certainly, I could name a lot of guys that, fit that bill, but not many guys are playing at the level Torrey is at their positions. It's just, it's fun to watch them. It's fun to watch somebody that's, performing that great have success like that.
Averaging a little over 48 yards per punt this season, with a long of 62, and many of those inside the 20-yard line. Congratulations to Torrey, the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week. Those are Kirk's Club Car Wash keys to the game. Thank you, Club Car Wash. When we come back, we'll go right to Twitter and Facebook for Coach Ferentz as we wind down our last regular season show here on Hawk Talk with the coach from Learfield.
When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. I'm Aaron Bowes, pediatric neurologist with University of Iowa Healthcare. Here, we're working together every day to advance medicine so you can get the best care. With more research, more clinical trials, and more treatment options than anywhere else in the state, the University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Right now, new and current customers can get any phone for free at US Cellular. So you can connect with all your family members this holiday season, like your snowbird grandparents, your adorable nieces, or your favorite uncle. Just think, with any phone free from US Cellular, you can even call your aunt who always makes you talk to your cousin, who's a dog. Or maybe just send her a festive text. Everyone can get the gift of connection at US Cellular. Get any phone free today. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Whether you're building a backyard fence for your family's new best friend or firing up the excavator for your next commercial project, a free and simple call can save you from expensive fines and even save your life. Call 811 at least 2 days before you start your next project to have underground utility lines located and marked. At Mid-American Energy, your safety is our #1 priority. So, make it your priority to call 811 before you dig. Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Hey Hawkeyes, this is Coach Kirk Ferentz. We work hard all year to have the best season possible, just like Iowa's corn farmers do. Please support Iowa's corn farmers by purchasing corn-fed meat, dairy, and eggs. Drink safe water from the tap and fuel your vehicle with homegrown unleaded 88. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Go Hawks.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk at View Rooftop. Thank you all for being with us tonight here in person and along the Hawkeye Radio Network. And thanks to View Rooftop and Authentic Brand. Authentic Brand, if you submit an interesting question this week on Twitter or Facebook for Coach Ferentz, you could win an Authentic Brand Hawkeye merchandise pack. So let's, Coach, go to the wheel here on Twitter and Facebook and see what's out there tonight. Clint says, do you have anything special in practice during this week as far as prep for a game that's going to be really cold or windy?
No, we practiced outdoors all week, and our guys are used to that. It's going to be a little chillier than, it will be on Friday than it's been this week, but I don't think it's that big a deal. Probably the biggest thing is wind, and it looks like right now 10 to 12 miles an hour, which isn't too bad.
Not terrible.
Relative to what it could be. So, anytime you play after Thanksgiving, you can get anything. So I think, as it stands right now, hopefully this isn't too bad.
All right. Thank you, Clint. Chester says, Coach, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? Go Hawks.
Oh, boy. Well,
that's a unique one.
That is a good one. I kind of like to mix the mashed potatoes and the dressing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like to mix it up a
I've
little
never
bit.
heard of that one before.
Yeah, I mean,
you actually dump the dressing in the mashed potatoes.
Well, they're both on the plate next to each other.
Oh, you're talking about when you did.
Yeah,
okay,
just
I got
kind of get a little bit of each.
You're not asking Mary to do that. You're just
no. There's not much I don't like other than the cranberry stuff.
The cranberry. I'll pass on that too.
Let my wife have that.
I do like I like mashed potatoes and dressing.
Yeah,
I've never tried them mixed. I may have to try to do that, Coach. Tony, given the festivities and food of the holiday season, Coach, what are some of your thoughts? Coffee, ice cream. Do you like flavored coffee? Everybody knows you like ice cream. Ben & Jerry's, right?
Yeah, they got a new flavor. It's
oh, really?
Awesome. Yeah, it's a coffee with toffee, which I used to have, but it used to have too much the toffee stuff in there. But now they've got the right combo.
Oh, man.
It's outstanding. It's really good.
All right.
So I would suggest that. That's going ahead of Cherry Garcia.
Garcia.
When it's coffee, I like dark coffee. I'm not big on flavored coffee unless I'm recruiting. Then if they serve it, I'll gladly drink it.
You'll gladly drink it for your signature on the line, please.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Tony. Dane wants to know, Coach, you get to choose, if you could choose one consistent annual opponent, who would it be? I guess one of the trophy games?
Protected rivalry?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's where he's going with that.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know if I have an answer.
Hard to pick a favorite.
It is. I mean, it's all the trophy games are big games, and every game's big. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that one.
Okay, we'll pass on that one. But was that from Dane? Yeah, you got him thinking, Dane. Okay, Coach, here's a question from Kevin and Al Burnett. Has any player come to you and asked to be moved to another position, like a significant player? And did you say yes, or did you say no?
Yeah.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah, I don't think anybody has. Usually it's the other way around.
You're watching them.
Our philosophy is to let guys come in and play where they want to play, what they ask, and then after watching, if we think it's worth recommendation, we will. But the player has the ultimate vote for good reason. So, we usually just defer to what they want to do. But usually in a little bit of time, I think things kind of surface, and if you can make a good argument for somebody to consider it, that's all you can ask them to do. And sometimes it's easy. Dallas Clark was a negotiation. It took about 3 weeks, if I remember correctly, and Kyle McCann actually helped behind the scenes. He was a little bit self-serving, being a quarterback, and they were really good friends. But that was probably the longest one. But usually, it's a pretty quick discussion.
Dallas Clark, his name usually comes up. I mean, he was come in as a linebacker and a quarterback, wasn't he? He
played outside linebacker. His brother Derek was like his idol, and his brother was a linebacker at Iowa State. So. Both are really good athletes, I'm sure, but Dallas, I would argue, probably a better athlete, but it just wasn't working for him on defense, so it just took a little persuasion, that's all.
All right, there you go, your answer to that question. Let's take one from Facebook here, Coach, before we have to take a break. Mike, your wide receivers are getting more and more catches. What do you attribute that to? Is it something you're seeing on film versus defenses, or have the receivers just worked to get better at getting more open in space?
Yeah, I think two things. I think the group has improved during the course of the year, and certainly our quarterback's improved. So I think those two things kind of go together. Deacon's a much better player than he was a month ago, and take Caleb Brown. Caleb was a guy who played running back in high school, and I don't know how much work he got last year, quite frankly, at his other school. So he's worked hard all fall, and we're really seeing him, start to do something with confidence, and that's good. And Nico looks like he's going full speed. So it's really encouraging to see those two guys really kind of coming along, and some other guys I think are making strides too. Jake Bostic's back in the group now after coming off an injury, and he's practiced well. So I think we have some good things going on right now.
Terrific. Thank you, Mike, for the question for Coach Ferentz on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. Let's take a break. As we go to break, I want to welcome the Wiedemeyers here tonight, Mary and Austin. Their daughters are watching the show on KCRG Channel 9.2 out in California, where they live. So Mary and Austin are here enjoying a holiday meal at View Rooftop, the Wiedemeyer family. They live here in Iowa City, where the Wiedemeyers are here. Hey, there they are back there. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by to View Rooftop. And we'll be back with more. And Coach Ferentz on Hawk Talk from View right after this pause, courtesy of Learfield.
Right now, new and current customers can get any phone for free at U.S. Cellular. So you can connect with all your family members this holiday season, like your snowbird grandparents, your adorable nieces, or your favorite uncle. Just think, with any phone free from U.S. Cellular, you can even call your aunt, who always makes you talk to your cousin, who's a dog. Or, maybe just send her a festive text. Everyone can get the gift of connection at U.S. Cellular. Get any phone free today. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whether you're building a backyard fence for your family's new best friend or firing up the excavator for your next commercial project, a free and simple call can save you from expensive fines and even save your life. Call 811 at least 2 days before you start your next project to have underground utility lines located and marked. At Mid-American Energy, your safety is our #1 priority. So, make it your priority to call 811 before you dig. Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Does your company attire make you feel like you're always fourth and long? It's time for a change. Hand the ball off to Authentic Brand and watch your team transform into MVPs. On game days, our team dresses like champions in Authentic Brand. Ensure that your company's reputation remains untarnished by using nothing but the label specifically designed to display your company's identity. Ask your supplier for Authentic Brand products and see for yourself why it's more than just a label. It's a statement.
Are aches, pains, or injuries keeping you on the sidelines? At Athletico, our movement experts are here to help you turn your setbacks into comebacks and create a personalized game plan for your recovery. With no prescription or referral needed, Athletico Physical Therapy is where your comeback story begins. Get started today by scheduling a free assessment at athletico.com. Proud partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz from View Rooftop of the Colton Garden Inn, downtown Iowa City. Hawks are bowl eligible. I know many in our room here tonight in the restaurant and the bar area are headed to wherever with the Hawkeyes. You can too. Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited is Iowa's official bowl tour, and proud to announce the Hawks are bowl eligible. Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited is Iowa's leader for game tickets, air travel, and hotel. Sign up to automatically receive official bowl travel information at hawkeyesports.com/bowl central. Back to questions for Coach on Facebook. Eugene, with 196 career wins, Kirk, did you foresee yourself at Iowa for over 25 years?
Simple answer, no. Although I didn't know. I mean, I really didn't have a plan. But after the first year, or first 2 years, that would have been doubtful, I think. So you just never know. I don't really look down the road too far. Typically, I never have. Just try to, maybe 5 years, something like that. Just try to have a 5-year plan when you're working. But, when you're doing something like this, you're just kind of focused on what's the next step or next couple steps to make sure you got a little bit of a plan. But, no, and the only thing I add to it now, which I don't know if I feel bad about it. I do in a certain degree. Pretty sure in Division I that'll never happen again. The world we live in right now, I mean, I can't envision anybody staying more than a decade wherever they're at, just because it's hard to keep people happy. I mean, it's almost impossible in this day and age with social media. We've got a plethora of experts on TV, radio, etc. I mean, I can't remember. Just so many vehicles and avenues for people to voice their opinions and opine and bloviate and all that stuff. And most of them don't know what the hell they're talking about based on the glimpses I hear. So it's a tough environment right now, I think, for anybody that's in a visible position. And I do feel bad about that because it's a really enjoyable job.
It's a great game.
People just let you, do what you're doing, like coach, work with your players and your staff and all that stuff. But it's just,
it's a different world. Social media.
Hard. Yeah, it's hard. And
now you add in the transfer portal and some other.
It's just interesting. So,
well, you're more focused on the here and now and what's right in front of you.
Yeah, it's always the best part.
Yeah, good point. Okay, let's go to Diane.
I'll interrupt it. Yeah, when I was a kid, like you had Chuck Knoll, Tom Landry, and Don Shula, like those guys were fixtures to their franchises. And, Bud Grant, look at the NFL now. They're changing every quarter, basically a quarter to a third of their coaches each and every. So you do the math on that. That's not a lot of stability in that league. There are a couple franchises that kind of stay the course, but most of them are pretty reactionary, and that's good for the teams that stay the course. But again, it's a world we live in right now, and whatever goes on there trickles down to us. So I do feel bad about that because I've got kids that are 2 that are coaching, and I've got 1 that'll probably end up in coaching, and probably a little better world. No, I do sound like an old guy, right? The older people always say, it was better when I was doing it. But it's just going to be different, that's all. And I just think harder, that's all.
Yeah, it is. The media is different. Social media adds to it. And
I'll keep the ramble going here since we're doing that. I've been out of the NFL for 25 years, obviously. But so Pro Football Focus, as I understand it, they grade every position, every player, each and every week. So any fan that has access to that has, expertise on what that team's doing. And I've always kind of been amused. It's not like when you used to evaluate, when I was in the NFL, you'd evaluate guys for draft picks. And we do the same thing now in recruiting. Or, go back to Pro Football Focus. God bless them. I'm sure they're a good company. But when you evaluate, you don't know what people are trying to do. You don't know how they're being coached. So you look at a player and you don't like what he's doing necessarily, but you like the way he competes. And so maybe he's being coached to do the things that you don't like. And when you get him, if you coach him right, he'll do it the way you want to do it, and he's still a good player. So you get the point, though. But I guess my point is when people, bloviate about their expertise about all this stuff, and they may be experts, but they don't know what's being told to those players. And that's where I struggle, and I'm sure it's that way in all sports. I know a little bit more about football, but it's there's just a lot of people pretending to know what the hell they're talking about, and I'm not sure they know much about
and getting
anything,
and
quite
getting
frankly.
Paid for it.
They get paid really well. So it's kind of entertaining.
All right.
And I'm thinking of one guy in particular who's an expert on guys. And I remember when he played, and I know where he went to college, and he wasn't so good when he was playing. So he must have,
he's really improved.
Rear view mirrors helping him out a little bit because he's an okay player.
Side view, rear view. Yeah, I hear you.
But he's talking about some guy who's an all-pro. It's like, okay, just slow down there.
Easy subject.
Yep.
Well, let me go back to Diane, Coach. She says happy Thanksgiving to you, Gary, and Coach, and to your families. Thank you, Diane. I'm confused about something. Why was Quinn Schulte called for a foul for tackling the quarterback? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Thank you, Diane. I was asking that question also when it happened.
So we're just talking about things that used to be better, and here's one more thing that used to be better. It looked like it's just a normal football play, didn't it?
Yeah,
healthy football play.
I didn't see him driving him into the ground.
And I've got commentary on that one, too. So, the rule, the interpretation, I'll give the person who made the call credit because he said I called it, and here's why. And it's a good illustration of one more thing we're doing to screw this game up. We've made the rules so hard that those 7 officials out there working the game, they're asked to do way too much and interpret way too much instead of just officiate the game. And it's happened with pass interference, happened with the roughing stuff on the quarterback. Do we have a meter to measure how forceful the tackle was? It's just so anyway, you put these guys in really tough positions. And, they're getting booed because, it looked like a bad call. But that's, we've made the rules where it's really difficult. And they need to kind of go back and really not be so smart in some of these areas, and replays worse than that.
Yeah, that's a contact.
Replay's a total mess.
Contact sport indeed. Thank you, Diane. As a proud sponsor, U.S. Cellular is built for the Hawkeyes. They're built for great interceptions and better reception, watching touchdowns instead of touch screens, and waving before streaming. After all, game day only comes once a week. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Regardless of your profession, step confidently into the spotlight with authentic brand gear. It's the premium label our team wears, and you too can enhance your company's image as well with Authentic Brand. I'm wearing the Authentic golf shirt tonight. Got my Authentic jacket over the chair here. And styling with Authentic Brand merchandise. Log on to authentic-brand.com. That's authentic-brand.com. Insist on it from your trusted supplier, Authentic Brand. Since we're talking about quarterback hits and rubbing them into the ground, the crackback called on I think it was Jennings Dunker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just an average Joe, but when I look at the replay, his shoulder pad is in front of the guy. The guy's running. He's not looking at Jennings, but he's in front of him and crushed him.
Yeah, so it's blindside block, whatever, and that's one you're probably not going to get away with. So,
okay.
But it's this is a contact game, and again, I think with our, we put a lot on the officials that probably some of it's not necessary.
To your earlier point, yeah.
It's too bad because those guys they work hard, and they do a really nice job out there for the most part.
Let me give you something a lot tougher.
Don't feel as good about the replay.
Well,
I'll skip that commentary.
Everything's replay now.
Yep.
Eric, well, let me get something real tough here. Eric wants to know what your favorite pie is on Thanksgiving.
Hard to beat pumpkin.
Oh,
on Thanksgiving,
on Thanksgiving, pumpkin pie. Whipped cream or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
A ton.
All right. Jeremy, hey, Coach.
Fresh, too. The real stuff.
This is Tim, excuse me. By the way, Mike is our winner tonight for asking his question. Dressing up for game day is now a breeze, all thanks to Authentic Brand. Get ready for game day, the Hawks at Nebraska Friday, by visiting authentic-brand.com/Iowa. Thank you, Mike, for your question. Tim has a good one. Coach, I'm curious, when you're looking at hiring staff, what are some qualities that you're always looking for, regardless of position, Coach?
First of all, quality people, first and foremost. What you don't want to do, I think, is bring somebody in that's and not everybody on our staff's the same. It's like a team. I mean, there's so much, diversity amongst backgrounds, ages, all those things. And it's the same way the staff. You want that. That's healthy. But you want people that are going to be good people, that are team people, team members, team players. And then the other thing, you got to be a teacher. What we do is not rocket science. We're not doing anything that complicated. So it's more about the ability to teach, ability to really care about kids. And in college football, it's different than pro football. In college football, your realm of responsibility far extends football. In the NFL, it's all about football, and it's all about winning and production. But here, our job is to get our guys to graduate, and which means you got to get them to see the value of that, because not everybody does. Just basically you're trying to teach them to be ready for adulthood, if you will, when they leave here. Obviously, playing football well and winning games is a big part of that, because you won't be around too long if you don't do that. But there's a lot more to it, and you have to move guys further along, and they start here. But the fun part is to see them grow. But yeah, that's first and foremost. It's just being a good teacher, being someone who really cares about young people and is going to work with them, and put the attention that's necessary, because it's very time intensive. You can't do anything if you don't love it. So you want to get guys that love football and love working with young people.
Okay, well said. Thanks for the question, Tim. Hawk Talk tonight has been brought to you by Hudson's Southside Tap. The Hawkeye Radio Network post-game show is held at Hudson's Southside Tap, your Hawkeye Game Day headquarters. Stop over Friday. Watch the Hawks and Sabres $6 House Bloody Marys. 11 o'clock start. Bloody Marys go hand in hand with an 11 o'clock kickoff. Feel the Hawkeye spirit at Hudson's on Highway 1 West in Iowa City. Thanks to Kevin, Ursula, Joe, and the group at Hudson's for their support of the Hawkeye Radio Network this season. About a minute left to go, Kirk. Let me work one more in. Actually, a double whammy here. Drew and Vicky, not the same thing, but you're going to Indy regardless of what happens Friday. Is it extra tricky trying to get the guys motivated to take this one, despite the fact you're bowl eligible? And then, Vicky, is there any advantage to playing Friday this week as far as preparing for the championship game?
Love playing Friday this time of year, not in September. This time of year, love it. So I think it's good, and it's more mental in November than anything else. And then as far as the game itself, I joked about it after our game last week that we might, like the NFL, sit our starters down, all that stuff. That was a joke. All right, I mean,
I took it that way.
I mean, if we're playing, we're playing, and I think our players all feel the same way. It's a chance to win our 10th game, chance to win our 7th Big Ten game. It's a trophy game, chance to be 4-0 in November. Those are all important. But anytime you tee it up, I don't care who you're playing, where you're playing, it's important. That's what you work for, and you only get 12 opportunities that are guaranteed. So that's not an issue. And you hear about, teams having a letdown. I talk to our guys all the time. I don't know. You got 12 games out of a whole year. How can you have a letdown? Yeah. So let's go. No, it's time to go.
Let's tee it up and play. Kirk, I've enjoyed each and every week here for our 25th year. We'll look forward to next season.
Well, in bowl edition somewhere in the month of December, probably.
We might get back here and talk about that too. But
we'll see.
For now, let's go and beat the Huskers on Friday. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Gary.
And we'll talk Friday at 9 o'clock on the pregame show. Good night, everybody.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, from Learfield, live from View Rooftop at the Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Iowa City. Hawk Talk has been brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Your local Ford dealers, Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and Iowa Corn Promotion Board. You may think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa football. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Also brought to you by Mid-American Energy. Look up, look out for overhead power lines. Visit MidAmericanEnergy.com for electrical safety tips. By University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Cellular, built for the Hawkeyes. Built for silencing notifications and turning up the noise. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Iowa Farm Bureau, who would like to remind you to support America's farmers. Check out AmericaNeedsFarmers.org. And by Authentic Brand. The label you wear makes a difference. Step up your game day looks and everyday style with Authentic Brand. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.